sir. Very first one. You are number one.
You are our guinea pig.
It's recording.
Here we go.
All right, you want to start down? You want me to start?
All right, everybody, we are starting a new series, I guess you could say, or it's just basically a storyline.
Yeah, it's a viewer success story.
Viewer success story. Here we go. This is episode 1. This is kind of a trial run. So we have
Billy Hall here.
Billy Hall. And you talk about a big deer killing some gun right here.
Yeah,
I mean, he's killed some giants.
Yeah, what we want to do with this here is pass knowledge along. Is tell a story, because both times going to be big public land deer, and it's got a story behind it, or maybe a way he killed it that I think you'll get some tips from it, because I've learned a lot from this guy right here. Just what a little bit I met him, talked to him on the phone. So let's get it started. What day did you kill that deer this year?
October 10th at like 5:15, something like that, 5:15 p.m.
You have any history with this deer?
None at all. None at all.
Well, how'd the hunt lay out then? What made you go in there?
Me and my brother was hunting. We, that morning I seen several small bucks. And they were all heading to this one particular location across, like following a tree line through the swamp. So about an hour later, I had a couple more bucks come across the creek, come straight to me. They did the same thing. So I met up with my brother around lunch or so. We talked, and I told him, I said, I'm gonna go, we call it the pocket. I'm gonna go over to the pocket and hunt this evening, because it seemed like all the deer were heading to that particular location. Well, he tried to convince me to hunt somewhere else. And I told him, I was like, no, I'm going back there. They were all heading somewhere back there. I'm going back there. Well, I went back there. I had to move the stand because where it was at, they would have winded me big time. So I moved the stand about 70 yards, the ladder stand. Moved it more east, and it was a south wind that day. So sitting there, moved it, rested at the base of the tree for like 30 minutes or so. Ended up climbing back up, got situated, grunting, can call and all that. Even though it's early season, I didn't figure nothing would come running in like they normally do during the rut. About 5 o'clock or so, I'm grunting. A couple minutes later, I look over my right shoulder and I see movement. And I see a buck, a nice buck. Well, he's looking over his shoulder and he's staring at another 10-pointer I didn't see. So I pull out my phone and I start videotaping him. Just in case if I was to get a shot and miss, like, this is what I shot at to my brothers. So I knew I was going to take the 8-pointer because he looked bigger of the two. So I put my phone up. It was about a 45-yard shot, and I thought it was a double lung. I guess it wasn't. It was more of the shot was like he was a little bit quartering to me, but it hit him on the left side right behind the shoulder, blew through one lung, and is basically out about midways of the deer. He went, we searched for him for blood for a couple 100 yards. There was good blood, but then he went out into a swamp and stuff. We was there till around midnight, 11:30 that night, something like that. And we got a hold of the guy with the dog. I said, I know this deer's dead. And Rodney, he ended up meeting my brother because I had to work. He ended up meeting my brother in the parking lot the very next morning. And they went back there, and within 30 minutes, they were standing over top of my deer. He only went probably 200 yards from where we lost last blood. And he was a big 8-pointer, big 8-pointer.
Yeah, one thing I want to, what he's done, that ain't the only deer you kill like it, is it?
No.
I'm talking about grunt.
He's got a very unique tactic that I don't think a lot of people emphasize as much.
And like I said, and he's in big mature deer that a lot of parts of the country don't have. But I want Billy to show y'all. You got your call weed?
Yeah. Yep.
I want you to see this sequence he's doing. Because like I said, what'd you kill the year before?
182 inch 13 pointer. 182 inch 13 pointer.
182.
Public land, y'all.
Public land.
And what'd you do on it? You grunt him in too?
Grunted him in also. He come. It was the middle of the rut. It was, I can't remember the day. It was like 2 days.
You shot him firearm, didn't you?
Yes, so it was gun season, and it was, I want to say it was like 2 days before Thanksgiving, something like. I was sick at the time. I didn't even want to go back there, but my buddy Mark was driving. We got through hunting that morning. He's like, well, let's stop by here. Let's hunt this afternoon. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back to the pocket once again. Same area.
Okay.
I had to move the stand. I was really getting the stand situated for my son, because I was going to bring him in there that weekend. And I was sick. Like I said, I was sick. Could barely talk. And once I moved the stand, it used up all my energy. Like I was drained. So I sat at the base of the tree for like an hour. And then once I finally climbed up, probably it was like 3:30, something like that. I climbed up. Around 30 minutes later, I start grunting real loud, which I'll show you.
Show us that, and then we'll go on it.
Just like that. I grunt, and sometimes I get louder, but within 5 minutes, I look over my shoulder, I hear sticks breaking and thrashing. Here he comes charging in. He jumped the ditch and basically staying there ready for a fight. And he met his maker.
He got it. He found a fight he couldn't win.
Y'all, to me, that's pretty amazing, because in the South, I've never done that. Never heard very many folks ever
even talking about that.
Yeah, even talking about a big deer coming in like that. You had another situation this year. Your brother was hunting a spot, and you texted him and said, "Hey, get loud, get loud."
Yes, the same thing. I was actually at work, and my brother was hunting another spot where I seen several bucks the day before. And he's like, "Man, I ain't seen nothing." I texted him. I said, "Grunt and get loud, get loud to where they can hear you. Get loud." And he was like, "Well," he said he started thinking, "I know Billy does it every year." He's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to grunt loud. I'm going to get loud." Well, he starts grunting. Within a few minutes, here comes a monster 10-pointer running straight to him. And he said, "Seeing is believing. I'm going to be doing it from here on out."
Y'all, what I get out of that, I think it's a lot like turkey hunting. I think everyone's not going to come in like that. But I think you get in that right situation, and that buck's all hormones, is all hormoned up, especially a big mature deer. He knows these big boys in the wood.
Yep.
And he hears that sound. What do you think that sound does?
Basically,
you think that the roar is what? Is it like a big dominant sound or what?
Yeah, it's like a dominant sound. The way, because I've heard other big deer doing the same stuff, so I try to mimic them.
Yeah.
The way it seems to me is it sounds like he thinks I got a doe over there and I'm chasing other smaller bucks off.
Well, that's it.
And so that's why they come running in like, "No, I'm the dominant guy."
Well, that's what I had another buddy I got in Illinois, and I sort of told him about it. He said, "Oh, I hear that 2 or 3 times a year." He said, "Most time you hear it, there's going to be a big buck that's got a doe. He's got her right there, and then when another buck comes up to him, he makes that sound like, you better back off."
Yeah. Yep.
But when a bigger deer hears it, he's like, "I'm not backing off. I'm going to take your girl."
That's my girlfriend. Yeah.
So that makes sense why it works on the right deer.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I've had several bunch of. You can see my wall. I've had a lot of success doing that.
Well,
Do you ever, when you're grunting like that, do you ever call in younger bucks doing that, or is it mostly?
No, I've called in.
Percentage-wise, what would you say you call more of?
More smaller to, well, everybody's deer is different. Smaller to
more 2 or 3.5 year old.
Two to 3.5-year-old deer.
Yeah.
But the old big 4 or 5 year old come in there every once in a while.
Bigger ones, and they hear it, they're running in. They're
not just coming in slipping. They're coming in.
They're charging in. They're like, "You got my girlfriend, and we ain't having it."
Y'all, you got anything else to add to that much? increase.
I've never even seen a 182. How many have you killed? You got a 180 and what else?
174.
174.
165. So
I ain't even seen that. I ain't even seen that. He's got it. So, I mean, yeah, that's about it. That's for
like
me.
I said, I hope this helps some of y'all out there, especially if some of y'all southern boys or different ones going to different parts of the country that Iowa, some of these other places got big mature deer.
Try something.
Try it.
Try something you ain't used to.
And like I said, you've done it early season. That was October you killed the first one.
October 10th.
You know, that was really for pre-rut.
Yeah.
But what'd you say? You said them sort of come in, not ready for a fight, but they're sort of curious, wasn't they?
Yeah, they were more curious. I'd see them looking like, oh, I know a buck's over there. Then they feeding slowly coming my way. They didn't
come charging like
they didn't come charging in like the rut, but I knew I'd get their attention.
Did it seem like they was a bachelor group maybe? Still together, or was it
there was two of them. They were still together.
Okay.
But they heard me grunting. That's why they're like, let's go on over here.
Yeah.
See which one's over here.
Okay, it makes sense. Have you ever done it late season? Ever called one in?
Yes.
Even
several times.
After the rut.
Muzzleloader season, it'd be late. A few of my biggest ones that I've seen most of my biggest ones I've seen was late muzzleloader season.
Okay.
They'd be by themselves and they'd hear me grunting and they'd come running, charging in like normal.
That makes that sense. That he's thinking, dang, there's a hot doe over there.
Yeah.
They know it's late, but most of them's already bred, and he's like,
there ain't many left.
Ain't many left, so he really wants to come take that from me.
Yeah.
So, y'all, let us know what you think about the series of this. Like I said, we sort of put this out. We've already had several folks contact us, so we think we got something that's. Main thing I hope it's going to be interesting to y'all. It's educational to you, and you get to tell the story.
And that's what we always get people asking us about how we do this, how we do that, and I've never been a good one to explain. And a lot of how I've learned is just listening to stories.
Yeah.
So I think this right here is going to be something like people can learn from just by listening to stories about how somebody killed something. There may be 10 things in that story you just said somebody will pick up that you never think of, that you never be like, well, that makes sense now until somebody else sees it. So I think hopefully this is going to help.
Well, there's one more thing Billy told me yesterday that made a lot of sense. How do you start out? Do you start out loud when you first start calling?
No. Every scenario is different. Like if I'm in, say I'm hunting in a thicket and I can only see 30, 40 yards, I'll start off low and then work my way.
Get louder and
louder, depending on if I hear anything or see anything around me. If it's, if it's open hardwoods and I can see 100 yards around me, I'm going at it on this grunt call until something comes running in.
And that makes sense too, because like I said, if one is 50 yards from you, you don't want to get super loud.
Yeah, you don't want to be loud because then you'll scare them off.
So you start low, especially if like I said, if you're pretty thick, if you're pretty tight.
Yeah.
Start low and get louder and louder.
Louder and louder.
How often do you do that?
Every 10 minutes.
Okay, so you
a lot.
Pretty regular.
I'm on it non-stop.
Okay, do you ever do any rattling with it?
Every now and then. Once I start using my grunt call and calling in buck after buck with my grunt call, I put the rattling antlers up.
Well,
ain't no need to. You're calling them in. There's no need rattling.
If you know that works. That's pretty good, y'all. We could go on and on. We don't want to. We said we're gonna try setting this limit to 30 to 45 minutes. I don't know how long we've been sitting here. We didn't have time.
I didn't either.
But hope you enjoyed it. Hey, if you like it, subscribe. Leave in the comments. What do you think about this series we're gonna start doing? This is basically the viewer success stories.
It's gonna be like a visual podcast, I guess you could say, in our opinion, because I'm not good at podcasting stuff.
And it's gonna be average, everyday people just like us.
Right.
Like working folks, got families a lot of time, but love to chase big whitetail. And big whitetail is different from the south to here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Daniel just asked his brother a while ago, Mark, what do you call him big up here? He's like, 160 plus. At home, 120, 130 plus.
Yeah, 130 plus. That's big.
So different parts of the country is bigger deer for different people. So but we all got a passion. We love chasing these sun guns.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
So Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.
Appreciate it.